is up, y'all? It is your host, Rennie, and you're listening to another episode of the Call Me Crazy podcast.
Damn, I can't believe they're ripping this early. God damn.
Yeah.
They literally go until like 10 o'clock tonight,
yeah.
so they probably have a shit ton of bands.
But that's dope. I won't get copyrighted for it, and we got music in the background.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Can I see your jewel?
Yeah, of course. Where'd I put it?
Thank you. Haven't seen this. And what kind of pod do you have? Tobacco?
No, gross.
I mean, what do they sell anymore?
They don't sell it, and my mom gets a fucking auto ship. I got her started. It's horrible. I haven't had a
What?
I haven't had a jewel of my own since probably 4 years now.
Auto ship?
Auto ship. Yeah, it's bad.
That's bad.
Bro, she would get the limited edition. She had like the teal, she had the red, she had the gold
colors,
at one point. I'm like, girl. She's like, with this auto ship, I get a charging case. I'm like, oh my gosh, so she's got a portable jewel charger.
This shook the nation.
It shook the nation. Like, literally horrible. But when I think about me hitting this since 2016, I want to vomit.
No, it wasn't 2016.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay, so you're a little bit younger.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it was 2016.
Yeah, it was 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Want to rip a jewel till I got to UConn? And my life turned upside down.
Damn, really?
Not really.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
The way it had to happen.
Yeah, the way it had to go down for sure. So, guys, I'm here with, what do you like to be called? Because I call you Bry, but...
Bry. I got McBry.
And your full name's McBrien.
Full name is McBrien, yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that name before.
I've had it in my bio since, or not my name, but I've had one of one in my bio since I was in like 7th grade.
So you've never met another McBrien?
I will never meet another McBrien.
Okay, so it's not a family name.
No, I've looked it up and I've never seen like another person named McBrien, yeah.
Was that your mom's idea or your dad's idea? Dad? Okay.
Yeah.
And you have obviously you have your dad's last name. Well, that's not obvious.
Yeah. I have my mom's last name and my middle name. So it's McBrien Lagundi, which is my mom's maiden last name, L'Esperance, or L'Espérance.
Okay.
Yeah,
so this is my Filipino brother right here. Haitian and Filipino, right?
Yeah, Haitian and Filipino.
And so did you grow up mostly with your Filipino side or like equal thing?
No, so backstory, my parents have been divorced since I was little, since literally 1. And my mom came here solo, like left all her family back in the Philippines. So, I mean, I've always lived with my dad. Thank God for my stepfather. He scooped my mom up, basically, kind of showed her how to live in America, you know. She cooks a mean collard green for a Filipino lady.
Wow. I'm surprised.
She goes crazy in the kitchen.
Is your stepfather black?
He is black.
Okay.
Mac and cheese.
Oh.
Everything you can think of. Soul food, she goes crazy. Like when I go to soul food places, I taste her collard greens and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about it.
Does she do the collard greens with ham?
With the turkey, yeah. She does turkey and she does turkey neck, which is
damn.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, so always with my Haitian side. Grew up with my grandma basically because my dad had to get to work, which is why I could speak fluent Creole.
That's awesome.
Which is, you know, some people. That's the funny part. Like when I see Haitians, I kind of just like stand by them just to see if I can understand what they're saying, or I do something out of pocket just to see if they'll say something and be like, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand fully, you know.
That's awesome because people don't think I'm Filipino, but you look Filipino.
Yes, in a sense, yes. I think it's the color.
Yeah.
Our color is just like... It's
really dark. But also, like, Filipinos come from little dark pygmy people called negritos.
Right.
So the you know, the origin of Filipino people are very dark, but when you see Filipinos, my great-grandmother looked like she was Chinese, but she wasn't.
Right, that's how my mom looks.
So yeah, it's very interesting. We come in all colors, but to most Filipinos, they're surprised when they find out that I'm Filipino. Yeah. What's your favorite dish?
Filipino dish or just all time? Filipino dish. It would have to be a dish called sinigang.
Oh.
Do you know what that is?
My favorite.
Literally.
My
so
favorite.
Good. My mom, she just makes me a bucket because I love the sauce. With white rice is one of my, you know, I can eat white rice with anything.
With anything, yeah.
White rice with the sinigang sauce.
Yeah.
And it comes with like green beans and cabbage and carrots and potatoes and beef.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't miss.
You can't miss. No, yeah. I actually just had, my mom just made pinakbet yesterday.
Pinakbet.
Yeah. But yeah, Filipino food is great. It's definitely something that's, if I don't really typically introduce my American friends to, unless it's like lumpia or like pancit or
that's basic, yes.
A fried fish.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely an acquired taste. Like, everyone wants to try halo halo until they find, when I start saying what's in halo halo, it's like,
it's good though.
It's good. But when you explain
you just gotta eat it. You just gotta eat it.
You just gotta mix.
It's nothing like you'll ever have anywhere, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you have, it's appreciation. Like, if you can appreciate that, like, you can go to this place and have this dish that's been made in this country that's millions of miles away or hundreds of thousands of miles away, you know? And they've been doing it for hundreds of years. If you could appreciate that here where you are in like the US or wherever you are, like, come on.
I know.
Come on. But Filipinos do eat some crazy stuff. Like, my mom eats everything.
Yeah, the eyeballs, everything.
No, everything. Everything. Like,
there's no waste in a Filipino household.
Yeah, I agree.
No, none.
Haitian household is super different because we eat what we have in our backyard. Like, my dad, I mean, I wouldn't say it's different from Filipinos. They do the same. But my dad never ate out. We never went to go out to eat. I think if we did, it was 3 times, if I can account for. And
how old are you?
I was it had to be like after a basketball game one time or after, you know, in high school. And he just sat there and watched me.
He didn't eat?
One of them was a buffet.
Okay.
So we literally just got up, or I got up, ate, he sat there, I ate my food, got a couple plates, and he just sat there and we just chatted for a little bit. But
wow. Much respect though.
Yeah, he does. He lives a different lifestyle. Everything is out of the garden. He's a master gardener. And then if my aunt's not cooking it, it's a huge chance that he's not gonna touch it.
So did you learn to cook from your dad?
No, so I learned to cook actually from being home alone in a sense, you know? My dad had to, like I said, get the bread. My grandma, she was older. She was about 90, or maybe like 95 92 when she passed. Oh wow, that's a long life. But if it was a day like this, she'd be in the garden, like moving around.
I'm dying.
It's nuts. She kept moving until literally the last day that she couldn't. R.I.P. She's a goat. But yeah, she kind of, you know, just was in the house to watch me, and I was just running around doing whatever the fuck I wanted.
So what's your favorite meal that you made for yourself as a kid?
To this day, soup is I keep saying my favorite meal, but my top meal. Yeah. Like noodles. I've been eating noodles, not because it's cheap, because I actually enjoyed it. At one point I was doing it every night at 10 o'clock. My dad would make it, I'd eat it, go to bed. Wow. And that was for like maybe 2 or 3 years straight. yeah, it was nuts. But I would have to say soup, definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we met through Ellie, which is the owner of Hanesie, which is now my client. And before she was my client, we created the Give Yourself Grace collaboration collection, which you and your girlfriend both have joggers from.
Absolutely, which I love.
Yeah. I seriously think, especially because you guys are 2 completely different skin tones, I feel like it proves the point of that color looks great on everyone. Like, it does not wash anyone out. It just, not to toot my own horn, but anyway.
The stitching on it, the back pocket.
The back pocket.
The details.
The double pocket.
The double pocket.
With the zip.
Come on. 4 pockets in one pant?
No, 5 technically, because you got the back pocket.
Right. You have to market that. How can you have 5 pockets in
one single sweat?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm going crazy. Good for y'all.
So yes, we met on I feel like I've known you forever,
right. You literally said my Filipino brother. I was like, you're Filipino? What up? How are you doing?
You know, so we met like a month ago?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
And Brian was one of our models for our campaign shoot, and so was his girlfriend Ari, and then they were just on our last campaign shoot as well. Yeah. So it's been a really fun time, and I feel like the night we met, all of us shared like a really special moment that like I've never experienced before at a dinner table. So I had this idea, and I was like, you know, I feel like we're not celebrating our accomplishments. Like, I LLC'd and never celebrated it. I, you know, have been a year and some change into this journey and have been self-employed, didn't celebrate that. So me, Ellie, and her twin brother were like, let's go out to dinner, let's celebrate ourselves. And we decided to do it on the night of the campaign shoot and just invite anyone else to come. And so everyone wrote down 5 things that they were either proud of or that they had accomplished and didn't celebrate. And got really emotional.
Yeah, no. I mean, how couldn't it?
I know. Well,
we were just spilling it all, you know.
We were spilling it all, but honestly, like when we were writing it in the car, me, you, and Jazz,
we were jokes,
like jokes, like laughing, like not even anything. Yeah. We get to the table, and I'm like, yeah. So special, though. So special.
Absolutely. It was honestly even an honor to be in the shoot, because, you know, for me, I'm not really the type to be in front. I'd like to just kind of chill in back and watch and listen or whatever it is, but to be in front of the camera, that was super fun. And I think like everything around it made it even much more, you know, much better.
And Ellie's whole brand surrounds mental health and wellness and just supporting each other. So I'll obviously insert some photos from that campaign shoot, but everything, you know, we were shooting that day was our Here For You collection. And it just speaks volumes to why we're here today. I asked Brian to be on the Give Yourself Grace series because I really wanted a man's perspective on the mental health space. I had a lot of females willing and open and wanting to share their story, which is amazing. But something that I really loved about Brian the first time I met him was his vulnerability and just how he was speaking to the table when it was his turn. So I felt like inviting you here would be great for everyone to listen to.
Just, I mean, thank you to you guys, just because like from just that experience, the dinner, you could see how comfortable I was. And I just met you that day. Like, does that make sense? What? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, thank you guys, but also it's just important, you know? For me personally, my story's different. Everybody's story is different, you know? And you can always learn, even if it's like a 1% of something from someone. Right. And, you know, why not? Literally, why not? For our brand, when me and Ari started our brand, one thing I just pushed in my head, just like, why not us? Right? It was just like, yes, everyone has all their companies, this and that, but just why not us? Why can't we be where we want to be?
Exactly.
You know? And it's us holding us back. So you kind of just have to prevail. And I mean, speaking, letting that out is the most important thing. And I think that 2020, I mean, the start of the pandemic, I think that's when mental health really started being pushed out into, like, obviously social media and everybody being able to talk a little bit more about it. Still not as much as, you know, it should be.
But I think we're in the right direction.
Oh, absolutely, sure. Absolutely.
So just before we get into the meat of the podcast, I would love for you to shout out your brand and what you're currently doing and what you and Ari are working on right now.
Absolutely. So right now we are owners of a sneaker reselling business called Sold LLC, or just keep it sold. I've been a sneakerhead since I was a little kid. Ari's actually just getting into it, and it's so beautiful, or it's so good to see like her learning like the works, because it's a whole different world that, you know, some people who really don't have maybe the accessibility, or like she obviously learned about the sneaker business or the sneaker industry through me, and she's starting to pick up stuff, and it's just so cool to see her learn that. And we just been grinding, man. I mean, it's so fun to get shoes that are, you know, super limited. Not many people can touch them, have them in hand, see them. Shoes range from $100 to, we've seen
$1,000.
No, we've seen shoes for $30,000.
I'm not surprised.
One pair.
What brand was that?
It was Jordan 4.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an Eminem collab. I mean, like.
From when?
Not too long ago, but the shoe is just super limited, maybe like 1 of 1 or something, 1 of 10, and you can't get, like, I'll never get my hands on that, but to see it is like,
it's insane.
It's cool.
Yeah, I definitely knew there was a business side to sneaker selling, but I will say until I met you guys, I didn't really get the gravity of it and like how global this is. Right. So it was really cool, and Ari could have, you know, tricked me into thinking she's been doing this for years. The way we were conversating about the sneakers, about my birthday package, she was sending me screenshots, numbers, like comparisons, and I was like, oh, whoa, oh my God, you answered all the questions I was about to ask, so thank you.
She's on top of it 100%.
Yeah, so there is definitely a big, you know, I mean, I feel like sky's the limit. Yeah,
and we're ready to make mistakes. You know, we have to learn. There's no other way to learn other than to make mistakes. So we're just on this journey. Obviously, we're taking a little trip for a couple years to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So maybe, hopefully, you know, we're pushing for the right direction, and we're definitely excited for that for sure.
So where can they find you? How can they buy from you? Do y'all ship? Like, what's the situation?
So we do ship. Sold203_ is the Instagram right now. We're pushing all our business through that. Yeah, I mean, we ship global, nationally, not globally.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
I was like,
no,
wow.
I was thinking that for a second just because a couple people from India hit me up.
Yeah.
But we never were able to make business, but
with time for sure. Yeah. All right, so can you remember when you first heard the word mental health?
I would say, for me personally, I would say about a year ago.
Really?
Truthfully, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's never been in my household. Not even close to a thing. In my family, you know, not even close to a thing. I've only known maybe one of my family members to ever be sad, and that's my cousin that I've been close with since I was a little baby. Her personally, I've only known her feelings. Yeah. Everybody else in my family, and when I tell you I have a gigantic family, like my grandmother had over like 130 grandkids. It might be 150 grandkids. Like, I have cousins, I don't know their names.
Wow.
Because they're just being born left and right.
They're just being born left and right.
It's crazy. Because my grandmother had 13 kids. Like, my father was one of 13.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, mental health has never been pushed ever on, you know, my Haitian family side, and my mother, you know, she's just been grinding and doing what she has to do. We've never really kind of touched base to that level. But what I did start doing was telling them, I think this was, I would say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I just started telling them, I love you after every conversation. And I think that's maybe in my mind, that might be when I started appreciating more, right?
And so that wasn't a thing for you guys in that household, like saying I love you?
Oh, no affection whatsoever on both sides.
Wow.
Yeah. But it'd be like, I was never like a bad kid, you know?
No.
So for me, it was always respect. So I kind of always respected my parents as you should, right? But it was never as personal. You could get to that personal level.
Wow. So like, how about like PDA, like hugs, kisses?
Somewhat. Yeah. I mean, nothing crazy about that, but talking more so.
Yeah.
And then like we spoke about on that dinner, I was sort of living in a huge lie, right? So I was like, how could I even be personal with you, because then I have to tell you everything. Right. So, I mean.
And then when did you break free of that with your parents?
When I told them the truth. As soon as I told them the truth, the relationship with me and my dad changed instantly.
And he was receptive to it?
Receptive, which at first he was like confused, but then I didn't expect it, but as I grew, he was growing himself. Because the Michelle that I grew up with when I was younger would not have tolerated that. Yeah. Me not finishing school, not a thing, you know? And I wasn't gonna live for him. Right. Like, I know he wants me to finish school still to this day. He still asks me. But I'll do it when I feel I can, or when I want to. Yeah.
And how many years ago was that?
So that was about, I went to UConn. So I did community college for a little bit. Community college was almost easier than high school, so it was like, it's not really saying much. Shout out to everybody in community college, though. It's a grind. And then I transferred to UConn. I transferred with Rios. He was my roommate too, which was just dope because we were best friends here. Yeah. When I transferred there, did the year, and it was just like, I was flustered. Yeah. I was literally too over flustered, I couldn't keep up. I had no direction, and it just turned to worse. So that first year, I was already done with school.
And were there any resources available to students, like to reach out and to find help maybe, or to talk to someone at the very least?
I actually tried. I tried to reach out to speak to someone on campus, and it was over the summer. I believe it was over the summer, and it was all through online. You sign up, you wait for an email. I don't think the email ever came through because nothing ever happened. Right. Right. And I needed to talk to someone and tell them like all this stuff that's going on. Like, I think I was 19 at the time. I have to do this myself. Like, my dad is not in this, my mom's not in this. But I didn't have anybody to tell. Yeah. I had Ari there, which, she's been there since the beginning, but it was like, can't tell my parents because they think I'm in school. Right. So the next 3 years, I stayed at UConn, and they thought I was going to school.
Wow. Yeah. How were you able to do that? Was it just like, it was a different sort of housing, or?
So I always lived off campus. Okay. So it was like, rent a house, pay your rent, and they were helping me because they thought I was going, they believed I was in classes. Yeah, man, I was just living in a terrible, terrible lie. And it was just like, at one point something just hit me, and I was just like, I'm doing this for what? Yeah. Like, all this money I'm spending, having to live away from home because they think I'm here going to school. Like, why? Why am I doing this? And I was just like, I'm done. How did I break it to my dad? I just told him I needed to talk to him.
In person?
In person, yeah. And I just sat down. I was just like, I haven't been going to school. Blah, blah, blah. You know, I wasn't able to keep up my grades.
Yeah.
And he responded at first like the way I thought he would. He was like super confused, and he was just like, what's going on, right? And then it was just like, kind of understood after. There was like some sense of understanding, even if it was like a little bit, which I would not expect at all. So I mean, after that I was just like, okay. And then breaking it to my mom wasn't as hard, because I don't know if she's more understanding, but she just kind of, she cares, but it's kind of like, it's whatever I feel, in a sense, you know? How moms usually are. So that wasn't too hard to break it to her, but you know, it was just kind of like, I was done living in that lie. And you said it best at the dinner. It's like living for your truth, or living in your truth. And that's what I was ready to do. So
and so that was like 3 or 2 years ago.
That was about 3 years ago. For 2022.
Awesome. Well, I'm really proud of you. And
it was everything. My biggest quote is, everything happens for a reason. So like, if you can learn from it, learn from it. Whatever you can take from it, take from it. It changed my life, you know. I'm on a different level with my parents. It just makes everything kind of more comfortable in life, you know. So
for sure. So what does mental health mean to you? Like, what does that word mean to you now that it's in your life?
Mental health, I would say, means, it's almost just like expressing yourself, right? Not that if you don't speak about your mental health, you're not expressing yourself, but I mean, mental health is expressed through almost like, can be expressed through emotion, right? Body language. Literally, you can see how someone's feeling through how they're sitting or how they're standing, right? The vibrations, I would say the best comparison would be just the vibrations. Like, if your vibrations are high, you almost express yourself, you know? You can tell that someone expresses herself because of their vibrations, right? For example, your vibrations are through the roof, right?
Thank you.
And I feel like that correlates because you speak your mind fully, through and through. Like, even on your posts, right? You'll show your face without makeup, how your bed head is, right? You know, it's like if you're more comfortable, then you that person speaks more. Or
it emanates.
Yeah, exactly. So
I love that perspective, because I've never thought about it like that until you said it, but it's true. My vibrations became high once I was fully comfortable with who I was.
Exactly. Like, you being able to speak the way you want to speak, wear what you wear. You know what I'm saying? It's just like...
the vibrations stay high because I know that when I'm walking into the room, I'm always me. And that's it.
Literally. Yeah.
I love that. So do you do anything like in your day-to-day to help, or like, you know, any self-care?
Absolutely. One of the biggest things that I've done, I would say 3 years ago. 3 years ago was I started breathing. And it wasn't even like, I know there's technique breathing, technique breathing. It's just simple, like, I'll wake up in the morning and just go out and just take a couple breaths, like by myself, eyes open, just opening up to the sun, to the world. And even in the car, just finding those little times to appreciate your breaths, because it can change your mood instantly.
Yeah. I definitely think that's like a form of grounding.
Absolutely. I implemented it with Ari. One of the biggest things we do is if life is too crazy, I just grab her and I'm just like, let's take a breath. Like let's just try to focus on your breathing, and then instantly after there's a change in mood.
Yeah. Because this life is so fast paced, and especially with like the industries that we're in, it's like if you miss a DM, like that could be a $1,400 sale you're missing, right?
And there's some anxiety behind that.
Yeah, so much anxiety behind that.
As little as it is in this big world, a DM and missing it for maybe an hour, there's some anxiety behind that, and like, what can you do to? Even if that anxiety isn't crazy enough to give you a panic attack, it's there to knock you off of your routine, right? So like, what can you do to kind of mitigate that or help that? And I would say literally breathing.
That's amazing. Yeah. I feel like throughout all the therapists I've ever had, breath work has definitely been something that was a piece of advice that was reoccurring. And especially with someone with anxiety who's like hypersensitive and reactive, taking that moment to breathe is definitely, something to do, and honestly something I should implement, especially with my asthma.
Yeah, I have severe asthma, so I mean, it's just so easy to do. Like, you don't need a professional. Just
go out and breathe.
Just you're talking to yourself in your head, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Tell yourself to go take a breath, go relax. It's okay to relax. Let me tell you, it's okay to take, even if it's a day. It's okay. I got a bunch of friends and a bunch of people that I know that just grind, and it's because they want to be super successful, but also I believe that it's like from what they've seen, if they've always seen their parents come home from work, wake up, or they don't see their parent when they wake up, he's at work, and then they see him for a couple hours when he gets home. If they see that for
their whole life,
what are they gonna do? They think that's norm. And I don't think that's healthy, and I feel like those are the people that get stuck with not being able to talk, you know?
Well, I feel like you and I are two people who are trailblazers in the fact that we're passing down better habits to our children, because, in the brown community as a whole, mental health is not something that's always talked about in the household. Like if you're taking statistics, 9 times out of 10 it's probably not. And something that I can relate to is on my Filipino side, like that just not being a thing, and if it is a thing, we don't tell anyone about it. Even the extended family, like don't tell your aunts and your uncles, don't worry anyone about this. The first time I was hospitalized, I didn't tell them, for the simple fact of, I grew up with that mentality. Like my mom was there, but I was like, I don't want to tell Lola and Papa. Like they're not going to understand. And to a degree, I still don't think they understand. But for me, at this point, I don't need them to.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what people have to understand.
Yeah, it's once you can control all of yourself, trying to control everyone else, it's like you don't even want to, you don't even care. No, it's incredible. So do you think you personally deal with anything mental health related?
Yeah, I do. And I've not self-diagnosed myself, but I've realized and I've come to notice that I didn't grow up, no one's perfect. I didn't grow up without, any struggles or hardships. So, but it's always like, for me, it's like, I don't know if it's because I like sitting in the back and just observing everything and listening to everything, but it's always like my experiences always come back, you know? I always can think about how, I mean, I've been to Haiti a couple times. I always can think about how people have it so much worse than me, you know? In any situation, like, that I'm dealing with. Like, for example, I just worked 11-hour shift yesterday. No break, in a 85-degree kitchen, in front of a pizza oven and grill and this and that that's pushing heat, so it's like 100 degrees for 11 hours straight. Like, I had a couple cups of water, thank God.
Yeah, you're chilling in this then.
But, yeah, no, seriously. But it was like, you know, like, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, but you were just saying about like how people have it much worse, and like even
yeah, like I was in my head like fighting, you know, fighting the demons. But it's just like, people, first of all, people don't have a job. People are fighting to get a job to pay their next bill that's next week.
Right.
You know, like, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'll be good. I can go to bed. I have a bed to sleep in. Like, I'll be good, you know?
Yeah.
And those are the things that, like, ground me when
it feels too much.
Right. And actually, I would say, to go back to your first question, mental health, I said last year.
Yeah.
I would say when I graduated high school, I had some sort of thought in my head, because my senior quote was, "Your biggest demon is the one living between your head, or living between your ears."
Yeah. Your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mental.
Your mind, your thought. So yeah, I mean,
maybe the word wasn't there, but the thought was
there. Yeah. Couldn't pin it exactly, but yeah, I was in the ballpark. Yeah, that was 2014.
Senior year.
So a good while ago. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And you said Ari helps you with your mental health,
absolutely,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Has she been aware of her mental health for a while? Because you guys have been together for...
Close to, I would say, 6.5 to maybe pushing 7.
That's incredible for a young couple. Because how old are you guys?
I'm 26 and she's 24.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been going.
That's
pushing.
amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see your children.
It's been a beautiful process, honestly. I've been blessed with it.
And I always say, like, relationships are really a mirror. And if you can handle that mirror, it can be the most beautiful growth process you've ever seen.
We've been growing since literally the first day we met.
When did you guys meet?
Don't know the first day, but I remember the first thought I had when I saw her. We had a dance competition, and we were rehearsing for the dance competition at UConn.
I didn't know you danced like that.
I didn't know. No, it was because she was in a sorority and I was in a fraternity. So it was like, they paired us up. Didn't want to do it. Like I said, I didn't like being in front of. That was not me. Absolutely not. But yeah, the first thought I had was like, okay, who's this? And then I thought, how do I get to talk to her? Me being as shy as I am, I don't pursue that, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go up to a girl or say anything like that, so didn't say anything, kind of just let the days go by, rehearsing, you know, day after day or whatever it was, week after week. And then not too long after I had that thought, I got paired with Rios to serenade her, so to sing to her.
Fraternities are so funny.
So yeah, we pulled up on her in the library. She was sick as a dog. And we serenaded her there. And
what was the song? Do you remember?
I think it was Mario. I'm pretty sure
Classic.
It was Mario. Let Me Hold You or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning. I met her there. And then, I mean,
the rest is history.
The rest is history, literally.
Would you say she's someone who's helped you most on this journey?
Absolutely. There's not too many people. I don't know if there's more than 3 people, you know, but one of the only people that's been there through everything. And I mean, you know, what can I say? I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
Absolutely grateful. Shout out to my sister too, because she was one of the first people I opened up to. She's younger. She's about to turn 20, but she's one of the first people I opened up to for sure.
Is she your only sibling?
Only sibling, yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
In a family as full as yours.
Yeah, my dad had 2 and then he was done, yeah. Only sibling. But yeah, she's growing up so fast. It's so crazy, you know? Like how time just, in an instant, I remember where she was in a crate.
Yeah.
In a crate. You gotta cut that. You gotta cut that. Cut. In a crib, and now she's 20, working 2 jobs.
It's insane.
Got her own car, doing her thing with her boyfriend. Like, come on.
I know.
Yeah, go off, you know.
I know. It's crazy. I texted my 17-year-old brother today, and I was like, what are you doing? He was like, I got work in an hour. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's insane.
What do you mean?
Insane.
What do you mean you got work in an hour?
You know?
They're full humans now.
Yeah. And the biggest thing I pushed to her is what I had to learn around that age, or, you know, even if I was older, I'm pushing to her now. Like, you need to breathe. Like, she has an attitude, you know. If you're getting there, if you know you're getting there, take yourself out and go breathe. Like, you'll figure it out. You'll be okay. And I think her realizing that is really, really going to help her in the long run, just because she's super young, you know.
Yeah.
By the time she's whatever it is, 21, 22, she'll be more mature.
Yeah.
Just because I'm
guiding her
in a sense.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a beautiful thing too, is if, like, not just generational curses, but just, you know, breaking that within our own family, right? So obviously we want to pass that down to our kids, but if there are younger siblings to bestow that on, like, do it now.
And even if it's a random person, some things me and Ari do to help us mentally is we help somebody else.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have a bunch of clothes laying around, you know. We put it in a bag. Not too long ago, there was a homeless man on the corner of Ari's job. I've seen him a couple times going there, and I was just like, I got all these clothes laying around.
Yeah.
Actually, I went to her job, and it was one of these days, blitzing, 95. He's standing on the sign like, do you guys have water? Clothes drenched. Like, I was like, nah. Came back, I was like, tomorrow, noon, like afternoon, I'll meet you here. Got all those clothes that I wasn't wearing, shorts and stuff like that. And then, you know, why not give it to him? It just makes no sense. And in a sense, that helped us.
Yeah.
Even if it was 1%, we always push for that 1% every day.
Yeah.
And I think that's super important.
There's always like a selfish high, and selfish in the greatest of
Absolutely,
ways.
Yeah.
That comes with helping people. You know, I've had people call me crazy. I'll let people who don't have a home come in my car. I'll bring them to KFC. I swear to you. But
Good for you.
Listen, I've done it like twice, but the man, he couldn't outrun me if he tried. So it was a comfortable situation. And I just drove him from Walmart to KFC. And you know, I always keep, if you're financially able, I always keep like a little goodie bag of sorts. So like chips, like Ritz crackers with the peanut butter in the middle, like tampon pad for women, like just anything that can help them out. I usually never give money, but I usually always have something to give that can aid in their journey as well.
And that can help. That can boost their confidence for a day. That can do something for a year. You have that could touch them for their lifetime.
Yeah, the kindness.
You literally have no idea, you know.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's crazy, but if you can understand it, and kind of like I've always told, for a long time I've always said, this is a video game.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, that's a big boy.
That's a big boy.
This is a video game.
Yeah.
I'm really good at video games. So if I can play it and master it, then I think I'll be okay, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's the point of life, right? Like, because I stopped trying to search for the meaning a long time ago. I think the meaning is just to live it. To live it, right?
Yeah. Your day, sorry to interrupt you. Your day, if you have a routine, awesome, you know? But your day is different day in and day out. From every minute to every hour. It can be super different, you know, and it can change, like we all know, in a second. Yeah. Right? So, I mean, if you have a routine, that's awesome.
But if you can adapt.
Adaptability is one of the biggest features that I love about myself, is like, I could sleep on the floor. I could sleep, you know, wherever I have to sleep. If I have to do it, then it has to be done, kind of thing, you know. Adapting to the unknown is super important. Yeah. And it's scary, right? Because you just don't know the outcome, and what your mind does is try to put scenarios of the outcome in your head. But if you just go in and just go for it, in the long run, it's usually better off, I feel. Right?
I want to mention what you said Rios told you, which always stuck out to me, because when I think about his character, what you said about him just now makes so much sense.
Right?
And it is probably like one of the best pieces of advice you could give someone. And what was that? What did he tell you?
Well, I thought of it for myself, just because, like, what is he doing, you know? And it's embrace the awkward moment. Like, my story when I met him, of how I put all that together, is we were or I wasn't even there. It was just a story that I've heard of him, and I was just like, he's actually nuts, you know? So we have a friend named Julia. Apparently she was on the side, at a concert, on the side of the road or whatever it was, eating a hot dog. Rios just goes up to her. They're best friends in 10 minutes. And then I eventually met her years later, and then I heard that story, and it's just like, okay, I would never, like, ever do that. Just cause, like, why would I go and interact, you know, for that simple fact, me personally? But it's just like, he is the life. The life of every party. So it's just like, I just looked at him for years and years and years, and it's just like, he embraced every awkward moment. Every single one.
And I think once you embrace the awkward moment, it's no longer awkward.
It's not. So to him, it's not awkward, right? Because he doesn't see anything awkward. But for me, it's just like, are you gonna do that? Oh, he's doing that. Oh no. All right. Wait, they're friends now? Oh, okay, cool. That's just like that. And it's awesome. It's so dope, you know. And his vibration.
He is confident within himself, within who he is, enough to just go up to a stranger and become friends with them.
Does not care. Does not care.
I love that. I love that so much, because I feel like in the past year, that has been me. Everyone's like, Rennie, you're dancing more, you're doing more of this. And it's like, I don't care anymore. Like, I actually don't care anymore. And I think that's the most freeing feeling. Like, I've always been able to dance. I've always danced in public. But there was always a sense of, oh, I'm dancing and I'm like making sure I'm to the beat and stuff. And like now I dance like with no care in the world. Like, most of the time I'm on beat, that's just, you know, running through my veins. But sometimes I'm not, and sometimes I'm just having fun. And it's literally like, who's living this life, and why is she living it? Oh, okay, I'm living this life and I'm living it for me. So that means I could care less what I look like in front of people. I will go to the dog park in a bonnet in a predominantly white neighborhood. I don't care. But that's what's so amazing about my life, is because that's how I'm comfortable. So I don't want to take off my bonnet yet. I'm going to the dog park for 2 hours.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what I gotta do. And it makes life so much easier. And at the end of my nights, I go to sleep knowing that like I just had an amazing day because I did what I want and I was 100% me throughout all of it.
Right. And I feel like for me personally, I would guess you would say the same. Your younger you would look at your stories now and like cringe. Like, oh, why is she posting? You know, why is she dancing off beat?
Yeah.
But like, who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? And not being as comfortable when you're younger, it clearly shows. You know, you want that perfect picture every time.
Yep.
Can't be perfect every time.
No.
Sorry, you know.
100%. So, what would you say? The last question, the question that I ask everyone is just, what would you say give yourself grace means to you?
Give yourself that 30 seconds. Give yourself that minute, hour, day. Appreciate. It's giving back to yourself, and also, but that usually means appreciating what we did at dinner. We appreciated our successes, and we don't get to do that much at all, you know.
Give that acknowledgement.
The acknowledgement, exactly. Just because the days are coming in so fast, you don't know. Your thoughts are blitzing, you know. You can't control it. 10 days go by, that thought that you had 10 days ago, you still haven't done it, right? And it's just like, it's okay. If you have to start over, start over. I would say giving back to yourself. Yeah. You know?
I like what you said about like just, if it's even 10 days and you put it off, like just give yourself that grace, because I feel like it's more productive to give yourself that grace than to harp on it, because then that's just spending more time, wasting more time.
And people can have anxiety that brings on more anxiety than they already have. Right. This, that, and the third. Yeah. It's just it's a scary ladder to go down, you know, because a lot of people can't help it. Right. But yeah, if you can acknowledge that, it's super important.
I love that. I love that. Well, the bands are tuning up, and this is, what is it called again?
Blues on the Beach.
Blues on the Beach, baby. Stratford, Connecticut. Make it next year.
A great day for Stratford, for sure.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being open to being on the podcast, because sharing your story at dinner with 7 people is one thing, but like this will live on forever.
Yeah, it was life-changing.
Yeah.
It was life-changing. It was an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right, guys, I'm gonna have all of Bry's links down below, as well as Sold, and obviously I will be updating you guys with what is in my birthday box. I'm so excited.
Me and Ari worked super hard on it. You're absolutely gonna love it.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. All right. See you later.
Finish any of it.
This is so exciting. Oh my god.
Yes.
Ari's so cute. Stop. You guys.
A way of giving yourself grace.
Best customer service in the world.